A little bit about volunteers, a little bit of what kinds of things volunteers do, and secondly, anybody who wants to respond also to what kind of training volunteers get to in the program, for people who are watching that might be interested, actually.
Well, you know, that's very nice of the hospice that they give us some type of training, because, you know, some things, I mean, a lay person may not know or something.
Yes.
Some of the certain rules that you had, certain boundaries that you had to have, and so forth. Those are nice things to have. But what I like of the volunteers is that most of the ones that I have met over there is people who have gone through that experience. So they know what the person may be going through it.
Yes.
So
yes.
And you know, that's something very nice of the hospice that they do here very well. That when they form, I mean, support groups, they put people who have had the same type of loss. They don't try to mix people with different type of losses, because the feelings are completely different.
Sure.
You know, when you lost a son, or when you lost a husband or a wife, it's different. Maybe different like you lost a mother or something. So that's very nice of the hospice that they try to do that. And you know, I just went through the case that I was helping a person, and he just passed away. And I used to go to be over there with him every Friday. He was sleeping all the time. Sometimes he used to wake up and start singing. So I used to sing with him and everything.
That's wonderful.
Right. And you know, his wife was using me mainly because she just wanted to get out of the house. And you know, she needed some free time to be away from this burden that she was having in her life.
You give relief that way.
That's right. So, and you know, it was a nice experience. I really enjoy it.
I get from what you're saying too, Jose, the point that every single individual you work with is a separate person, and you try to capture the spirit of that person. And I also hear that when people think of hospice, that, as you said, they think of depression, they think of dying, sadness, but there's laughs, there's the joy, there's all the spirit of the person that you guys capture too.
Yeah.
That's right.
And what's the training like? What would you say there?
We just finished a training, so I brought in some great new volunteers. It was 2 evenings and 2 weekends, so 9 to 5. We kind of vary it. You know, we want to make it easy for everybody, and everybody's so busy, but what fits into their schedule. They meet the whole hospice team. Yeah. So the nurses, the social workers. We have technical requirements, OSHA requirements, and things like that they need to see videos on, infection control and things like that. We do role-playing, things that could potentially happen when they're visiting a client. We have a visit from a funeral home, just to give them a little background. I have a great, it's an old video, but it's a video of a young woman who had breast cancer, and it kind of shows her decline. So it gives them a little bit of an impression of what they might face. Wonderful. Because you start off with somebody, and it's, you know, it's not the same at the end.
No.
So you have to realize.
Definitely not. That's very helpful. And last thing I just wanted to ask very briefly is the site locations, the different locations that you, communities you service, and also maybe for us to see on the screen and from you both about how people can contact you if they're interested.
Our home base area is Newton, Wellesley, and Brookline, and the surrounding communities that touch those areas. We do also service most of Boston and the Metro West area.
I see that map there,
on the screen there. I know that there's a kind of a snapshot of the area and a list of towns, which might be.
And we're now going to show the contact numbers.
Sure.
And I want to thank all three of you so much for coming. What a wonderful program. What wonderful people. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
And for our audience, please join us again for another On the Sunny Side of the Street. Take care, everybody. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worry on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear a pitter-pat?